Yes. Happy Monday. How are we doing? Hope you're good. It is very blustery out here, so I hope that you can hear me okay. Bring the mic down just a little bit more. Welcome to show 435. 435. Today we're going to talk about how do you go about becoming a more present husband in the household, okay, in your home. How do you become a more present husband in the household? So the first thing that I'm going to say here is that, number one, I'm not a relationship expert, okay? But I have worked with enough guys over the last however many years, 6 and beyond, if not more, to understand the concept about being a good husband. Because I've almost not been a good husband, and that has shaped me to wanting to be a better husband. So really this is just about discussion, self-awareness, and if the shoe fits type of thing. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me. It is super windy out here, so let's get on with it. Yeah, let's try and get this on here somewhere. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I'm your host, James Bourman. If you are coming through, then please do let me know. And in the comments, you're going to need a little bit of honesty here, okay? You're going to need a little bit of integrity and honesty. Are you a consistent husband? Are you present consistently? Consistently being a word. And I don't want you just to manage this off to like the weekend where you spent the whole weekend with your wife. Are you consistently, okay, are you consistently present for your wife? Tough question, right? So before we get into this, guys, if you haven't, please make sure that you're on the waiting list, if you want to come, that is, on the 25th of November, our Elite Movement seminar, which is our end-of-year seminar for men that are looking to reach limitless potential within their life, okay, that want to come up and spend the day with us. That is almost going to mentally, physically and emotionally prepare you for 2024 and in life in general, right? I'm interviewing the 3 speakers this week, and they're 3 amazing speakers, 3 amazing people with 3 great journeys, and then they're going to inspire the life out of you. Morning. Just the morning crew, innit? So let's talk about being a present husband. Okay, so let's look at your typical professional. Somebody that is in a professional role, somebody that runs their own business, someone that's got a career. Now, when we're in that mode, 80% of our mindset, of our emotions, of our physical state is invested in that career usually, okay? Because we want to make sure, okay, that we're doing really well in business. We want to make sure that we're absolutely nailing it in our career. So we throw everything in, and a lot of our focus gets directed there. And that goes into this bubble, and this bubble's what I call the 80%. Okay? The 80% mark. Then in the other 20% is where the rest of your life, where you spend a little bit of focus on the rest of your life. So within that 20%, you've got to account for your wife, your children, your friends, other family, your health, your personal development. And that 20% doesn't leave a lot for you to be able to focus on those people. So this is where I think it goes wrong for an awful lot of people. I think that too many men focus on their careers, on their professional work, on their business, and they're not leaving themselves enough time, energy or focus to be present in the home. And I say mentally, emotionally and physically because actually what wives need is some level of mental stimulation, some emotional stimulation. Your wife just wants to make sure that she's understood. She wants somebody to be able to talk to. She wants somebody to be able to support and lead her when she's down. She wants somebody who can read the room, who can turn around and go like, I'm having a bad day, recognise it, comfort and support them. But the problem is, your head's in 80% work. All I ever get from lads is, I'm too busy. I'm working. We're all working, right? We're all trying to build a career. We're all trying to thrive. We're all trying to be driven, hungry human beings. Okay? But at what cost? At what cost? And I've been doing this a while now, and I've worked with a lot of lads and been through a lot of lads. And it doesn't really hit the guy until two things happen. Number one, your wife meets somebody else. It's happened loads and loads of times. Okay. Number two, your wife leaves you. Okay. Men are really surprised when their wives leave them because they haven't been paid enough attention, because they completely and utterly disconnected within a relationship. Like, you just think it's never going to happen until one day they turn around and go, I just can't do this anymore. You're not here, you're not in a room, you don't talk to me, you're always on your phone, you're always working, you're always away. Like, what do we just think, that they're going to sit there and put up with it? That's not the role of a leader. And now you've got to try and build a career where you're going to live in a bedsit. And these are the harsh realities that I have come across within my job role. Busy professional guys, business owners, ending up in a bedsit because they didn't pay enough attention to their wife. That's the fact of the matter is, right? That is the biggest or the worst case scenario. And then you've got to split all the assets, and then you've got to arrange kid care, then you're separated family, then the real pain kicks in. And it's not until that point for a lot of men that they realise that actually, wait a minute, I have been spending my time unwisely. I have been focusing on the wrong things. And it happens with lots of different people. It happens with coaches that I know are out there. It happens with people that are CEOs of major companies. It happens to people that working within the corporate life, where this is just not focused in the right place. So how do we change that? How do we change that? I think the first thing is acceptance, self-acceptance, and making sure that you're aware of that. One of the things, and I talk about that as well, because, by the way, that scenario was nearly me with my now wife, because I was so obsessed with building a business that I nearly lost it all again. So I think, like, the steps that I always take, the mentality is always that if I lost absolutely everything professionally, I would still always have my wife and kids. Okay, I would always have my wife and kids to fall back on. I could live in a bedsit with those guys and still be happy. So my focus, my attention is prioritised in the family home. Okay, that's where it's at. Okay, that is where my number one focus and number one attention is. End of story. And once I do that, when I put that effort into that household and the people in that household, what we end up doing is building unbreakable relationships. So I can recognise when my wife is down. I can recognise when she needs support. I can recognise when she needs me to pick her up. I can recognise when she needs attention and support and someone to talk to. Okay? I can recognise, like, when we need a date night. And I can do that because I'm present in mind around the relationship. I'm present in mind with the business. I'm present in mind when I go to jiu-jitsu or go to the gym. I'm present in mind when I have fun. But these are all things that don't happen because you're not attentive. You're not paying attention. Okay? And too many people will say, like Ed's just said there, my family has always been my focus, yet the actions don't dictate that. Everyone will say that their family is the priority. If I asked you to write down now your top 3 priorities, you'd write family at top. If I told you to write down what has been your priority of where your time, your energy and focus has actually been practically in the last 3 months, I reckon that for 90% of you, family would probably be number 3. Okay? You can pretend if that's not true, but that's up to you. What I'm saying here doesn't fit to everybody. I'm not saying this applies to everyone. But you know in your own heart and mind if you're going back ratty, if you're going back late, if you're missing bedtime, if you're not connecting, if you're not communicating, if you're not picking your wife up and filling her with confidence, if you're not leading her, you know in your own mind that is happening, and things have to change, right? So you have to be able to be open with them. We have to put barriers in place. You have to put your phone down. You have to put your laptop down. You have to have an unwinding process so that you can be ever present. You have to go to the gym more. You have to run more. You have to exercise more so you've got more energy. You've got to make it work. You've got to work hard at it. You've got to grind. These are all things you're going to have to do to make it work. But 90% of people won't. 90% of people won't. They say that they will, and they feel that they're pumped up about it. But I've been around this game for a long time. Talk is very, very cheap. Action is king. When you're walking down the road and you're holding hands with your wife, and she's putting her arm around you, and when she's caressing you, when she looks at you like she's absolutely could melt in your arms, then you know you're doing a good job. When she smiles at you, okay, when she appreciates you, you know it with the look that she gives you, with the smile, you can feel the love oozing off her. And then sometimes you wonder when you go home why she's not looking at you, why she's not pandering to you, why she doesn't want to fall into your arms. It's because you're an empty shell. It's because you're hollow. Do you know what I mean? And every single day that happens, more and more and more and more, you're going to disconnect. Action is king. Okay? And I only say this, and it will be a hard lesson for some of you. Not all of you admit it. Okay? And that's part of the male ego, which will let you down. Lose the ego, guys. Is open yourself up and go, am I truly being a present, committed, dedicated, loving husband? Or am I wrapped up in my own little world of my professional life, and it's taken away all of my energy, all of your focus? I'm not saying don't work, guys. You've got to go out and you've got to do the business and you've got to grind and you've got to hustle, but you've also got to do the other stuff as well. Otherwise, you're going to be living in your little bedsit, miserable. I'm telling you. And don't think I'm wrong, because I've seen it for hundreds of guys that have come through this process. It's time to wake up. And you can start today. Okay? Take ownership of this situation. Take ownership of it. And you haven't been attentive, you go and buy your missus flowers. Or you go and tell her how much she means to you. Or you go and say, I'm sorry that it's been, I haven't been present. Things are going to change. Whatever it's going to take. But you've got to start immediately. Have a good day. See you Wednesday, 5:30.